It's important to be horny, okay? That means you're not depressed. Most people with depression have low libidos. Therefore, if you're super horny, you don't have depression. Tenuous links, but I think it checks out. Hello and welcome back to HAIYAA Podcast, the comedy podcast where we are always offensive and sometimes funny. Hello, nieces and nephews. Welcome. Second week of 2022. Everybody doing okay still? I like the tagline, always offensive, sometimes funny. I think I'm going to keep that as the official tagline of the pod because you know I keep it real on the pod, nieces and nephews. You know if I think of something, I think it's funny, I say it, no filter. We all miss those days, right? We all miss not having an HR department, right? Because HR departments, they ruin things. They suck out the fun from any corporate environment. So this podcast is, homegrown, organic, free-range podcast with no HR department. If it's offensive, it's offensive. Nobody gives a shit. We have that kind of family here. So welcome. I've been tagged in this post today by so many people. Basically, this French chef, Eric Ripert, he posted his pho recipe on his Instagram. And it looks like people aren't happy with it because he basically butchered pho. I have it pulled up right here. I read the recipe. It is terrible. He uses the wrong noodles based on the photos. The thing is, he's the main chef for Le Bernardin, New York, and that's one of the most famous restaurants in New York City. So I guess he's more like European trained, French trained, So we have to forgive him a little bit. I can't really review this on my main channel because there's no video. It's just an Instagram post with text. So let's just review on the podcast really quickly, shall we? Review this on the fly with no research. Let's do that. Let's see how much of the pho knowledge I've remembered. Because surprise, guys, every Uncle Roger video is done with a lot of research behind it. I get on Zoom calls with people who are good at that dish. And then we just talk about the dish. We talk about how to make it properly. And then we talk about the video, what the person did wrong in the video. So every single Uncle Roger video you see is a collaboration between me and people who are way more talented than me at cooking. That's how I try to bring value to you guys, okay? That's how I try to bring a bit of humor, but also the right cooking techniques. Let's look at Eric Ripert's pho. I'm looking at the comments already. It's it's a lot of people saying, I love you, but my grandma just rolled over in her grave seeing this. Oof. Is this respectful to call it something it's not without acknowledging this is your very personal interpretation of a celebrated Vietnamese national dish? Vietnamese people take their pho very seriously. You fuck with pho, you fuck with all of Vietnam. That's why I'm surprised America lost the Vietnam War. It's like guerrilla warfare, right? So they're stuck in the forests and the jungles, and they can't see the Vietnamese people because they really know the terrain well, and the Viet Cong is just hiding in the trees, just jumping down, stabbing them, then running back up the trees, and the American forces can't even see where they are. All they had to do was just walk into the forest with a bowl of pho and then just throw throw chili jam in it. You'll see all the Vietnamese people just rushing out. Like, the fuck you doing with my pho, man? And that's when you shoot them. That's how you defeat the Viet Cong. Pour some soy sauce, squirt some ketchup into the pho. They'll be like, hey, what the fuck? What the fuck, man? Vietnamese people take pho so seriously. And I like it. You can't really be proud of your own cultures anymore in this day and age. Except when it comes to food. When I say you can't really be proud of your culture anymore, I mean more like for white people, really. You can't really go, I'm so proud of my white culture. You'll be skewered. So the only thing we can all be proud of is our cultural foods, So hold on to that. That's why I love Vietnamese people. They're so into the pho. If there was Vietnam War too, that's what you need to do, American troops. All right, let's read Eric's little recipe, shall we? Okay, the first image he posted on Instagram, it's a carousel, right? So there's a few images. The first image is him just picking up the noodles with chopsticks, and you can already tell that the noodles aren't the right pho noodles. It's because the noodles in his picture are yellow. And we all know pho is like the flat white rice noodles. Okay, broth, shallots, garlic, button mushrooms. Ginger, radishes, carrot. Carrot? Do we eat carrots in pho? No, there's a lot of carrots in Vietnamese food, but not in pho, I don't think. No, there isn't. Okay, no onion for your broth. The recipe is a vegetarian Vietnamese pho. Okay, it's vegetarian, so already that is gonna be a problem, right? Where's your bone broth? You can't have bone broth. Vegetarians, man, you guys are fucking up everything. Seriously. Life is so short, life is so much suffering, and you're not gonna eat some bone broth? How do you experience joy? I sound like Uncle Roger now, but a nice bone broth. Where your joy? Where your joy, you know? But no onions in here either, and that's wrong. And carrots. Who puts carrots in pho? My God. Okay, garnishes, rice noodles, shiitake mushrooms. Shiitake mushrooms, man. It's like, it is the ingredient white chefs put in their cooking if they're trying to make Asian food healthy. You know, everything shiitake mushrooms. No matter what the cuisine is, shiitake mushrooms. You ever notice that? It's so trendy, the shiitake mushrooms. It's like the healthy little, it's like the quinoa, you know, of Asian food. They think it's healthy and refreshing and organic. Yeah, basically, they're right. It's not pho. So, yeah, you fucked up there, Eric. You fucked with all of Vietnam. So you're gonna have to just endure it. You know, I talked about cancel culture in my last episode, so I don't want people to go cancel him. And again, he's not gonna be cancelable. He's a chef at Le Bernardine. They're not gonna fire him because he posted one wrong recipe, okay? And also, he's trying to make vegetarian pho. That's already very, very difficult. It's never gonna be authentic anyway. So I see why he's being attacked. But, whenever you want to make a vegetarian version of any Asian dish, it's never gonna be authentic. So, yeah, just write it out, Eric. And a lot of people, when I tell them, when I review these Uncle Roger videos, sometimes I get comments saying that, oh, he's just making his own interpretation, man. Why are you gatekeeping? Why are you gatekeeping, bro? I'm like, yeah, you have to gatekeep. Again, that's how you keep your culture alive, right? By gatekeeping. You have a gate, you let some people into the gate who are good at that culture, and the other people who want to come into the gate with you have to learn about the kind of food you're preparing before he lets into the gate. You can't just have no gate and let everybody into your area. Right, especially my ramen videos, because ramen is such a specific dish, right? There's so many. They're very. It's part of the Japanese culture, right? They're very rigorous. They're very precise. So you have to have certain things to even consider a dish to be ramen. So people come at me like, "Yo, you're gatekeeping, bro. Why are you gatekeeping? He's just making his own thing, man." I don't like that argument because one, ramen, people have perfected it over the last decades or hundreds of years, and then you're coming in with your version. That's a little bit arrogant. That's like going swimming and then coming out with your own stroke. And I'm like, it's just my version of how I swim, bro. I'm like, okay, well, you're not gonna be slow as shit then. People have perfected the art of the strokes. There is the front crawl and the breaststroke and the butterfly. Yeah, the butterfly stroke. Like, why do people do that? What is this? This doesn't seem like an efficient stroke. What's the benefit of a butterfly stroke? I used to swim. I've never learned the butterfly. It's too difficult. But I learned the front crawl and the breaststroke. That's enough. That's enough. Can you imagine on a plane? You're on a plane and then the plane just crashed into the ocean, and then every passenger is just trying to survive, grabbing onto debris, and then this one guy on the plane is just butterflying in the ocean towards land. He's a prick. You would stab his life jacket to get him to drown or something. Don't be the guy who butterflies his way to land after a plane lands into the ocean. Little bit of a dick move. But back to gatekeeping. Again, like I said, it's how we keep our culture alive, you know? And I know ramen's not my culture, but it's just, let's just use as an example. If everything is counted as ramen, then nobody's gonna learn how to make the proper ramen. And then in 100 years' time, will we still have ramen recipes? Because nobody cares, because anything goes, right? There's no gatekeepers now. So any random noodles in liquid, you can call that ramen. So who's going to want to learn the traditional ramen, right? So that's why I think gatekeeping is important to keep your culture alive. Every culture should gatekeep. You know, Malaysians, we are very good at it. Malaysians, when we eat at Malaysian restaurants outside of Malaysia, like my friends, I have this one friend, right? Every time he goes to any Malaysian restaurant in London, he's never happy because he's from Penang, which is like the food mecca of Malaysia. Malaysian food is already amazing, but Penang is like next level, you know? That's where the true foodies go. So any Malaysian restaurant he eats in London, he's never happy. He's just like, ugh, not as good as Penang, not as good as Malaysia. Ugh, God. Malaysians will gatekeep other Malaysians. That's how stringent we are when it comes to food. And I think you should. White people, please gatekeep your cultural stuff like rounders. What is rounders? It's like a British. I just use that term because I know it's a very white British thing. Rounders is a bat and ball game played between two teams. Wow, Wikipedia, very useful. Very useful definition. Rounders is a striking and fielding team game that involves hitting a small hard leather case ball with a rounded end wooden, plastic, or metal bat. Okay, so yeah, the thing is, the only time I've seen people play this, they've all been white. So, white and British. This is a British white thing. Gatekeep rounders. I don't know how you would do it, but do it. Another way I come across as a gatekeeper is sometimes when my non-Asian friends, like my white friends, my Western friends, they like my Uncle Roger videos, right? So they ask me like, okay, where would I start if I really wanted to make really good Thai green curry? Or if I wanted to make really good egg fried rice, where would I start? And I'm like, stop cooking. That's where you start. Go to a restaurant that serves the best version of those dishes and start there. I straight up tell people to stop cooking because you can't hack it. Most people will not be able to cook good food at a restaurant level. That's why there are restaurants, and I will gatekeep the fuck out of this because I want the restaurant industry to thrive. I want people to eat out more. Nigel, it's a very privileged thing to be able to eat out. Yeah, oh, get off it. Go in debt. If you can't afford eating out, go in debt. It's worth it. Debt is a good thing, okay? You take out a debt to buy a house, right? And buying a house is generally viewed as a good thing. So, go in debt to eat at restaurants. Take a credit card just for food. Oh, I'm giving terrible advice here. I say stop cooking. It's facetious, okay? It's joking. But if you really want to make a good, like, say, Thai green curry dish, then you need to know what a good Thai green curry tastes like, right? So, the first step to cooking good food is to eat at good restaurants. The first step of cooking good food is not going out there and buying a Jamie Oliver cookbook. That is a guaranteed way to not cook good food. He's gonna tell you you just need 5 ingredients. You just need 7 minutes to make good Thai green curry. Well, you give that a shot, and then you're eating it, and you're thinking to yourself, why does it taste so bland? It's because you only use 5 fucking ingredients, right? So the first step to being a good cook is to stop cooking. I know, very paradoxical, but I have a point here, don't I? But here's the thing. You can get pho in London, good pho for £10. So no excuses, guys. Stop going out so much. Stop going on dates. You know, you go on a date, that's like £50 done, if the date goes well. What's the cheapest date you've been on, people? Where's the cheapest place you've been to, like a McDonald's? Like, why would you want to be with a guy who brings you to a McDonald's for a date? Go in debt and eat some good food. Okay, life is too short to have a positive net worth, okay? So, go in debt, enjoy yourself. So many people in the UK gamble. That's how they lose all their money. I lose all my money on food, and it's worth every penny. So the first step to being a better cook is to stop cooking. You don't know how good food can be if you keep cooking. You're in the same level. You're constantly cooking the same shit from the same cookbooks, from the same 5 cookbook authors that you have in the UK or, in the US. Insert your US version of, terrible celebrity chefs in there. I'm sure they are, If you just keep doing what you're doing all the time, of course you're not going to be a better cook. So you got to stop cooking and move to a good city with lots of Asian food. If you live out in the middle of nowhere, then I'm sorry, you're not going to be able to be a great cook. Maybe just for a cuisine that's passed down by your dad through generations, because you live in the middle of nowhere. How are you gonna get ingredients, first of all? If you live out in like middle of nowhere in Nebraska, what produce can you get in a landlocked Nebraska? So move to a nice city. I know cities are not for everyone, but just move there if you're young and you have the means to. Just move there, eat some good food. Remember what the food tastes like. That's the most important thing, If you want to be a better cook, you have to eat good food and remember what that food makes you feel. Okay, I know it sounds very white and wanky, but you have to remember what the food makes you feel. And then when you cook it for yourself, you have to access that memory bank. And then you say, okay, this dish, did my cooking make me feel like that? Chances are the answer is no. Because if you eat at a good restaurant, they're trained chefs, you're going to have to keep working on your cooking to get to that level. But that's how to make good food, with a little bit of gatekeeping. But anyways, this week was pretty rough for me. I got the booster on Monday. I just felt ill. Headaches, sore throats. I got a test. It was negative, so that's all good. But then a couple days into it, I felt better. But then my nose started running. And then I realized it's not the booster anymore. It's because all of this week, my builders are tiling the bathroom. And when you tile stuff, you have to cut the tiles because when it reaches the edge of the wall, you can't really use the whole piece, right? So you got to cut it. And they were cutting the tiles outside my house, but they had to run a wire from inside my living room, run a wire all the way outside, through the door, which meant the doors were open in the middle of winter, January winter in London. So my whole house was cold as shit, and that's why I kept sneezing. And then I had neighbors come and complain about the noise. It's just all too much. Do you guys want me to do a house tour when it's all done? I'm not going to do it on the main channel because it's just, I think, videos that go on there, people expect a certain type of video, but I can make a small little house tour vlog. What do you think? Small little house tour vlog just for my podcast listeners? What do you guys think? Will you guys want to see that? Leave a comment down below if you want to see my house renovation progress. I'm very excited. I'm very proud of it. I put so much effort into it. I'm actually staying in London. I'm not going back home to Malaysia for Chinese New Year because I want to oversee more of the house renovation. You know, it brings me a lot of joy to see it happening. And also, when I'm not around, they always make mistakes. The builders always fuck up. If there's one person who can fuck up in my house renovation, it's just me. I can fuck up. But the builders, they should not be fucking up. And they will fuck up if I'm not here to correct them just in time. Yeah, I'm happy to post a house tour on this podcast channel. You know, we are still a very small channel compared to the main channel, and I really appreciate you guys being here. So I want this house tour to be something special, you know, just for the early followers who follow the podcast channel. We're not gonna give all 4 million on the main channel a chance to see my house because it's still kind of private, you know. But with you guys, I feel like we're all family here, nieces and nephews. So I can post I'll post a house tour. Let me finish up with the renovation first and buy the art, buy the flowers, the plants, starting on the kitchen. I'm sorry, but it's going to be a very classical English kitchen. It's not going to look like an Asian kitchen at all. Sorry, guys. I know. Very disappointing. And there won't be an outdoor kitchen. Sorry. It's illegal to have that in the UK. Is it illegal to have an outdoor kitchen here? I'm going to have a fire pit in my garden, and that's not illegal. Can we have an outdoor kitchen in the UK? I know your white neighbors will complain. I wish I had an Asian neighbor sometimes. Then we could both have like outdoor kitchens. We could just be passing the wok around. Are you using the wok today? Borrow me the big wok, man. Lend me the big wok. And then we can just cook in the outside kitchen. And when Asians cook, we always cook too much and we share the food with each other. So I miss that. I miss having it. Okay, well, what I don't miss is sometimes the sambal wafts into your house. You know, the smell of sambal shrimp paste. Oh, boy. In my old house, right? Any apartments in the same building, same house is split into different apartments. And my neighbor is from Indonesia. I think the husband's Indian, the wife is Indonesian. And they would make sambal all the time. And I would tell them, you are so lucky your neighbor is Malaysian. If your neighbor were British, they would hate you. You would have knocks on the door. What's going on in there? Why is it smelling like shrimp? Why is it so fishy every day? What are you cooking? It's gross. Why are you eating that shit? And the thing is, they never shared any with me. Fucking pricks. I was putting up with a sambal cooking and just sauteing of shrimp paste. And they never shared any with me. And even after Uncle Roger blew up, they still never shared anything with me. I'm like, you fucking know who I am. I know you watch the videos. You fit the profile. A lot of Asians who live in the West know that frustration of seeing people fuck up rice and Asian food. So my videos really resonate with them. So I know you know who I am, and you never bothered to share any of your sambal belacan with me. That's why I moved. And I moved now to North London somewhere, and nobody here makes food that smells unfortunately. So, yeah. I wish I had Asian neighbors with an outdoor kitchen. And imagine the fun. They'd probably be like rearing chickens in the backyard too. Probably have like roosters and chickens running around. I don't need to go to the grocery shop anymore. I just pop by next door to my neighbor's backyard. This reminds me of a skit by an Australian comedian, Chonny. Yeah, my Chonny, who has a skit called Asian Backyard. That's exactly what I'm describing. They'll be like hanging clothes, a clothesline, animals, a cooking station. That's what I want as a neighbor. Enough with these white neighbors, their white backyards, and their flowers and bushes. Ugh. Boring. And another thing I want to discuss in this episode is my New Year's resolutions, because a lot of listeners, I've seen you guys posting in the comments about your New Year's resolutions, and I've gotten some emails and voice notes as well about your New Year's resolutions, and I'm going to play a few of them out and read out a few of them later. But for me, after doing some thinking, my New Year's resolution is less hoes, more bros, okay? In short, I want to spend more time with friends instead of going out on dates. It's too many. I went a bit crazy last year. Too many dates. And listen, I'm not bragging, okay? Anybody can go on all the dates you want because with online dating now, getting dates is pretty easy now. You no longer have to find someone through a mutual friend. You can just go on your phone. You can be taking a shit and arranging a date. That's how easy it is now. I have done that before. I'm not on any apps anymore. I'm sick of those. I've deleted all of them from my phone. But you can literally be on taking a shit and still be like, so you want to get drinks on Thursday? Tacos sound good. Poop, poop. The poop is the sound of shit hitting the water, if that's not clear. Yeah, see you Thursday. Bye. How many dates have been arranged while either of the persons taking a shit? I wonder. Those are the questions. You know, in the old days, you used to have to ask people out in person, right? Or over text or over the phone. Or you have to ask them out over the phone. You can't be taking a shit while you ask them out over the phone. They would hear it. They would hear the flushing. So are you free Thursday? Why are you asking me this now? Can you finish taking your shit first and then ask me out later? But more bros, less hoes. That's my New Year's resolution. I feel like after going through the separation and the divorce and stuff with the ex, of course I'm going to go a little bit crazy and go on a lot of the rebound dates, you know, and I have done that. And I feel like I need to take it easy now. I feel like I'm getting to a point where I'm like, okay, I need to relax a little bit. I'm a horny guy. What do you want me to do? Okay. Why do I sound like Mario when I say that? I'm a horny guy. I'm a horny guy. I'm a horny guy. It's me, the horny guy. It's important to be horny, okay? That means you're not depressed. Most people with depression have low libidos. Therefore, if you're super horny, you don't have depression. Tenuous links, but I think it checks out. I think it just about works. Can you be horny and depressed? I haven't heard of many people who are horny and depressed. It's either one or the other. Depressed people, let me know. Are you horny? Do you feel yourself stuck in bed? If you're horny, you just want to fuck something. You're gonna make yourself get out of bed. So being horny is a very positive trait. So don't shit on the guys who are horny, or the ladies. Okay, ladies get horny too. So everybody should be horny. Let's keep it nice. Keep yourselves horny. That's how you know you don't have depression. Depressed people don't get horny. Welcome to the Medical Advice Podcast with psychologist Nigel Ng. Depressed people don't get horny. So if you feel depressed, feel horny instead. Okay? That's my advice. Stop telling depressed people to just snap out of it. That's wrong. Tell them to feel horny. Tell them to go fuck someone. Don't tell them to go fuck themselves. That'll make them feel even more sadder. Tell them to feel horny. Okay? Because if you're horny, you're never depressed. But yes, I want to go on fewer dates this year. Because I realized when I was, before I moved to this new place, I was, in a studio flat, right? We talked about this. So that's why I went out a lot, because I was just stuck at home, and in the studio flat, you're just in the same room. So if I spend all day in there, I literally feel like I'm stuck in a jail cell or something. It's just one room. The kitchen's there, the sink is there, the table's there. That's where I work, that's where I eat, that's where I sleep. So of course I had to find stuff to do. I have my close group of friends. And as you get older, you realize you don't need that many friends anyway. So I can't keep bugging the same 5 people to go hang out with me every day. So I just have to go on dates as a way to go out and do stuff and put myself out there. So for 2022, I want to put myself out there less. It's enough. It's wasted too much money. I had a formula for the dates, man. You know, this first date here, and this bar, restaurant, this bar, this restaurant, this bar. You know, so I want to do that less. But I still want to be horny though. Okay, so that's gonna be a problem. What do you do, guys? For single people out there, what do you do when you're horny? You know, I can't do prostitutes. That's out of the question. Not because I'm not against them. I'm very pro prostitutes, but I feel like it would be weird if I got recognized by the prostitute. You know, like, hey, I love your videos. I'm like, oh god. Well, I hope you love my dick too, or at least pretend to because I'm paying you, please. That's the only reason I can't see myself going to prostitutes, because I have this like Z-list fame. I get recognized on the street sometimes, and but it doesn't happen a lot. But people do, and then I just have this weird fear: what if the prostitute recognizes me? You know, I am actually very pro sex work. Okay, I think sex work is real work, and I think it's a profession that's been demonized by the whole world. Hello, niece and nephew, it's Uncle Roger. If you're enjoying podcasts so far, smack the like button like how your parents smack you, and subscribe to podcast channel. Also, go leave 5-star rating and review on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, whatever podcast app you have on your phone. Nephew Nigel telling me he read every single comment. HAIYAA, I don't know why he's so needy. Anyway, back to show. Alright, now we come to the listener section of the show, listener submissions, and I like taking voice notes from you guys. Listeners, I take voice notes, so don't message it to my personal one, at Mr. Nigel Ng. Don't do that one, because I get tagged in too many stories, I miss them. But if you go follow HAIYAA Pod on Instagram, at HAIYAAPOD, HAIYAA Pod, and then leave me a voice note there. I go through them sometimes and I pick out some interesting ones, and then we can play them on air. I like hearing from you guys. Like I said earlier, we used to do voicemails, but the sound quality isn't great, so I prefer Instagram voice note, definitely. Tell me this week's topic. What are you most looking forward to this year, 2022? And let's try not to make it COVID related, okay? Because COVID talk is so boring. So let's not do that. But tell me what you're most looking forward to this year, and then we can roast you. See what your answers are, and I'll try to roast you a little bit. But last week I asked about your New Year's resolutions. So let's see what people submitted. This is from Scott Deneen. Let's see what he says.
Yo, hello, cousin Nigel. I'm the guy shipping Asian woman toys to the UK for you.
Yes, this is the guy, he reached out. Remember a few episodes ago, I talked about the Asian sex toys, the sex toys that are made in the shape of Asian food, like dumplings and like skewers. So this guy said, and I realized it's an Etsy shop, but they only ship to the US. So this guy reached out saying that, hey, I will help you buy them and ship it over, just pay me back. So this is the good guy, Scott. That's what it is about, okay? I'm not just I'm not just asking people to send me Asian, like, female sex toys, okay?
I have 2 resolutions. One is to get my first tattoo, and that may involve like a series of 16 tattoos. And my second would be to finally start my company, which will be an entertainment tech startup.
Ooh.
All right, that's it. Cheers, dude.
Okay, first of all, dude, when you record a voice note, just make sure there's no TV on in the background. Why are you having a TV on in the background when you record this? He wants to get a tattoo. That's his first of 16 tattoos. Is that right? Usually people get one, and then they decide to get a second one. But this guy has just planned out all 16 already. Holy shit, what are they? They're not just numbers, right? Yeah, I plan to get 16 tattoos. What are the tattoos? It's a number 1 through to 16. but in Roman numerals. I always want to get tattoos, man. I think as in Asian culture, when I was growing up, nobody really had them. So I never really thought about it. But I guess in the West, it's almost seen as an attractive thing, isn't it? You see a guy full of tattoos, it's like, wow, it's almost like an attractiveness thing. You're more attractive. All things being held equal, the guy with tattoos will be more attractive than the guy without tattoos. Am I correct here? Or does it depend on where you are in the UK or in the US? I think maybe it's a very LA thing, isn't it? I follow some LA influencers on Instagram, the Instagram thoughts, Instagram hoes, I know I just talked about how I want to be less hoes, more bros, but I started following some nice Instagram hoes. Hey, listen, they look good, okay? I want my feed to be nice. Because I follow too many people who are into the social justice stuff. So I'm like, oh, I'm so sick of this. And then I realized, oh, it's because I keep following these people. These are mostly actors, most of them. And actors, I realized something like actors, they have to be seen having the same opinion as everybody else and the same correct opinions of everybody else, because acting is such a small world and you want casting directors to want to see that you're on the right side of all the issues and all the topics, which is, I don't know if they really think that. It's just really annoying because they're so expressive and they love being the center of attention. So they love telling every single thing, everyone on the internet, every single opinion they have. And it's usually the right opinion. There's never any like interesting, controversial opinion they have, which I think when somebody has unorthodox opinions and goes against whatever we see online, it makes them more interesting to me. All I'm saying is I follow too many of these people. So I feel like I need to see some tits to cleanse myself. It's too many of these social justice shit, man. Like, I agree with you. It's annoying. I agree with you, but I don't need to see this. I want to see tits, okay? Tits over social justice any day. That's my take. And Instagram knows this. Every time I hit the magnifying glass button, the explore page, Instagram just shows me all these Instagram hoes, and I'm like, well, they're there. I will look at you. Why am I talking about Instagram hoes? Oh yeah, a lot of the Instagram hoes are based out in LA, and they look great, and all of them have tattoos. I can't think of a single Instagram hoe based out in LA without tattoos. So Instagram thoughts. Is it offensive to call them Instagram hoes? Because that's what they are, right? Okay, Instagram models. That's what they want to be known as. But come on. You're a thought and you know it.
Would be to finally start my company, which will be an entertainment tech startup.
Entertainment tech, so like OnlyFans? Sorry, Scott, someone's done that already. Entertainment tech. I'm curious to know more now. You gotta send me another voice note, Scott, and send it to the HAIYAA Pod Instagram, yeah? Tell me, what is your entertainment tech startup? And don't worry, all our listeners are way too lazy to steal your idea, okay? Coming out of the startup idea, anybody can come out with startup ideas. It's the execution that makes you a successful company. So don't worry, Scott. Nobody's going to steal your idea. Tell us, what is the entertainment tech company? I can only think about maybe Patreon, OnlyFans. What else is an entertainment tech company? Cameo? Is that Cameo? Does that count? Oh, by the way, I'm on Cameo, guys. So if you want a little last-minute, low-effort present for your loved ones who like Uncle Roger videos, then go check out my Cameo. I should promote my Cameo more. I never promote it because, I like doing them just a couple a week. That's it. I don't want to do more. But I think it's a really good low-effort present if you forgot about someone's birthday and you need to give them something last minute. It's good. So go check it out if you haven't. Next, we have an email from Jojo Sandifer. Am I pronouncing it right, Jojo? Hello, Nigel. My name is Jody, parentheses Jojo. I'm an artist from Arkansas. Nice. And will be 24 in a couple of weeks. Not relevant, but that's all about me. I found your Uncle Roger videos through Instagram and immediately became a fan. Your comedy, whether it be a podcast or videos, is always something I look forward to, as well as something that brings me joy every week. I was just listening to your New Year's episode and wanted to share some thoughts with you. For me, New Year resolutions and disappointment go hand in hand. Each year I set a goal because I feel obligated, but like 2 weeks later I forget. Then the next year comes around and I remember that I didn't do the resolutions I set the year before and I feel bad about it. It's this big cycle. I don't enjoy it. I think if you set a goal and then in 2 weeks' time you forgot that you set that goal, then that goal wasn't that important to you to begin with anyway, right? What were these goals? Like, for me, my goal has always been to, I never really have New Year's resolution until this year, you know, less bros, more bros, less hoes. That's the opposite, less bros, more hoes. Until this year, really, because my goal in life has just always been very clear to me. I just want to do comedy. You know, in all aspects. It's going to be funny in whatever platform I touch, you know? So I think if it's a goal that you can forget in 2 weeks, it's not that important anyway, right? So that's actually a good thing. You realize that it's not important to you, so you just let it go. Maybe I should set no goals and it'll be better for my mental health and self-esteem. Maybe that's what I need to do. If that helps your mental health and self-esteem, try it. Just set no goals. Don't tell people you set no goals because then they feel bad for you. They think you're depressed. If people think you're depressed, just tell them, don't worry, I'm horny all the time. You know? That's my new logic now. You can't be depressed if you're horny. That's the title of this episode. You can't be depressed if you're horny. But when people, sometimes, you know, like for me, the less hoes, more bros is a goal of mine this year. But usually in the past years, I don't really have my New Year's goals, goals for the year. I just love what I do, and I just want to keep on doing the same shit. So I don't really have goals per se. I'm lucky enough to have found what I love doing, and I want to keep doing it, right? And then I want to spend time with friends and family, which I already do, and I want to keep doing that as well. We always think like goals will make us better people, but sometimes we're already the best versions we can be. So let's just keep on down that path. You know what I mean? So we don't always need goals, but tell your friends you have goals so they don't like worry about you. This year, I will try to have better mental health. Get horny. I won't let myself down because I won't be setting goals. I won't forget about the goals because there won't be any. I won't set goals that I don't want to do because I'm taking care of my psychology. Yes, that is my new year. No goals, no expectations. But in all seriousness, I'll try to read a book. Just one. We'll see how it goes. Yeah, that's a good goal. That's a good goal, Jojo. One book for 2022, but it has to be at your reading level, yeah? It can't just be like some sort of Dr. Seuss level. Green eggs and ham. I finished the book. That doesn't count. Can't be any young adult novel either. No Harry Potter. Not because J.K. Rowling's a turf, but because that book is too easy. Can you still read Harry Potter now? Can you still have the Harry Potter book, read the Harry Potter book on public transport now? Or will some trans person just throw banana peels at you? It's dangerous, man. Harry Potter books are like a Kindle read now. You can't be walking around with a Harry Potter cover, hard copy. You'll get flamed. You'll get attacked by trans people. I think Harry Potter is an audiobook only. Art form. I feel bad for the Harry Potter fans, man. J.K. Rowling is now so intertwined with being anti-trans people, even though like, I don't even know where I stand on this. It's a very thorny issue. Let's not get into it. But I feel like Harry Potter fans, you gotta get an Audible account. That's how Audible should be marketing themselves, right? Do you want to experience the wizarding world of Harry Potter without coming across like an anti-trans bigot? Audible. That's your marketing campaign. Bye!